All right.
Hello there! This is Non-17 Spore with special guest FleetOfOceans.
Good God, man! You opened that with more bloody firepower than a goddamn bloody dreadnought. Jesus Christ, how more active can you be?
And we're back we're here with Roadwaves 2 on episode Nice.
I am here to critique and judge and give
Yeah,
orders.
yeah.
I am holding a gun to his head. I've taken him hostage. This is my channel now.
Oh God.
Fleet's random rambling shall expand.
He's a dry dock, or he's a admin on the dry dock. Dry dock
I am the
admin.
Drac you have at home.
Yeah. So,
So, having reviewed the fleet prior to we started, there are several things that I think need to occur. First of all, armored cruisers of the King Alfred and Royal Oak class. We bring them up, so obviously you viewers may know
yeah.
them, but I just want them bringing up. So, first things first, the Royal Oaks, their refit will be by far the smallest. 12 10-inch should be swapped out for, so dual 10s swapped out for triple 8s.
That doesn't work with side turrets.
Well, then remove the side turrets then, because you'll see
Then I
why
only
in a
have
minute.
then I only have 3/8s. These are my
Yep,
best heavy cruisers right now. Other
I
nations are
know.
bringing out good heavy cruisers.
Yeah, but there's a reason why. Okay, so if that's fine, we'll leave the Royal Oaks as they are. Could
Yeah.
you give them an engine rebuild, push them up past 30 knots? Do you think?
No, they've already had an engine rebuild.
Okay, well in
That's
that
the
case then.
engine rebuild
So,
that's happened.
okay, so the King Alfreds then. I'll turn my
Yeah.
attention to them
These
first. So the King Alfreds, pull them out of mothballs. Remove their side turrets. So yeah,
I
open the
think that
design for them.
I don't think that would be a good decision. The plan with the King
No,
Alfreds
no,
right now.
no, you haven't. No, you haven't heard what I'm saying yet. Let me. So, pull the side turrets off.
Okay, I will see what you're saying, but I'm not gonna do it.
So you have a large and capable force of light carriers. This we know. However, if your battle cruisers are otherwise engaged, you need a cheap and most importantly expendable vessel that can be relied upon to have just enough punch to see off light cruisers and destroyers that might make it through the screen, and covered in enough ACAC to see off enemy air attacks.
Yeah, but do remember, no secondaries. That is a big limitation of this playthrough.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so whatever you're suggesting, no secondaries hurts it. Find out what
I
happens
know.
when you can't build secondary guns. So I do like your plan of putting these on trade protection.
Wait, could we cover it in? Could we remove all the 10-inch and cover it in 4-inch?
I
Could we
don't think the game would
could
allow that.
could we convert this into the world's largest anti-aircraft cruiser
I
and just
don't think the game would allow that. It'd be funny, but I don't think the game would. Um, so what
well
I could do right now is I could basically I could
because what
put anti-aircraft guns on it. I could get the improved director. I could do a basic refill and put these on trade protection
yeah, that would probably be for the
just
best.
to give me
Obviously,
something.
get rid of their underwater tubes, save a bit of weight.
No, I have enough weight right now anyway. The
Fair
underwater
enough.
tubes will probably eventually become overwater tubes, but yeah, for now,
Fair enough.
I
So we
think
keep
this
those.
is not yeah, this is not a terrible idea to get these ships active and doing something. Even if it's not in a fleet role like the Royal Oak and Revenge would be.
Hmm.
Next refit these do undergo though will be a major one.
Yeah.
How are the
Okay.
subs doing? 13 on the.
The next thing I want to say is wait. Did I say Hokkaido?
Yes. Here's the
Show me the
map.
map.
So.
mm,
It's annoying.
all right. Okay. All right then. You wonder why Japan hates you. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Um.
Yeah. So current issues are tension levels are high. and I'm having to rapidly activate the fleet. Now, I did have a big group going down to Southeast Asia to sit in Singapore to hopefully move over to Northeast Asia
Oh no,
once,
just move them.
Japan tries
Just
something.
move them straight to Northeast Asia. You own Port Arthur. You have the tonnage for it. Just move them straight to Northeast Asia. Don't bother
The issue
sitting
with
in
that
Singapore.
is Japan's surprise attack ability.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So having them in Southeast Asia is probably a better bet than having them in Northeast Asia. The problem is now the US is mad. So I have to also prepare for a potential war in the North American East Coast and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Which means that I think that the force I sent is too big. I'm gonna have to
Mm.
shuffle some ships around. So I want to take a look quickly at what Japan and the US has to kind of decide my strategy with shuffling ships around. So Japan mostly has a battlecruiser force. In terms of battleships, they have the battleship Mikasa as well as the battleship Fuso. These are 14-inch armed dreadnoughts. Mikasa's also kind of terrifying. I forgot if we fought her or not. No, she doesn't have any battle stars, so we didn't fight her. And then they have their battle cruisers,
Mm.
which means that Japan is currently equipped with a fairly modern fleet, other than like the older Tsukubas, which did actually get some action, and the Karamas did too.
Sit down.
And they are starting to bring in CVLs. It looks like 18 plane CVLs, but very slow ones. Probably
I don't
conversions
think
from.
that's. I
No, they're
honestly,
not
Japan's
conversions.
not the one we need to be worried about. It's the US. So let's take a look at the US's fleet then.
Yeah.
So start from the top and work down.
Got the New Mexico, basically Dreadnought.
Yeah.
North Carolina,
Repeat, basically.
yeah,
Just a repeat of New Mexico.
basically repeat, a little better. Um,
South
South
Carolina,
Carolina, and they
standard
jump
class
straight to
battleship.
Nevada. A little slow, but still, I got a lot of them. New York,
Just take a step backwards.
yeah, yeah, it's a solid step backwards. Although the armor is really good on New
Yeah.
York.
Michigan, another one off. They step
Another
back
one
forwards
off.
again with 15-inch guns.
Yeah, Nevada with 15s. Colorado,
Colorado, they go to 12 14s with turret
so
secondaries.
yeah, so that's basically just a Pennsylvania, something like that.
And we've got the first of the New Jersey
New
class,
Jerseys.
which is 24 knot fast battleship with 10 15-inch guns, which is a little bit scary, as we've got nothing
Yep.
that's even remotely equivalent to that.
Yeah. I mean the
Lexington,
incomparables.
yeah,
Incomparables would crush that, but
Lexingtons.
yeah, Lexingtons are old. Not super afraid of
They're
them.
not they're not too bad for early BCs.
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably a crapshoot as to whether those actually have cross-deck
Yeah,
fire or not.
yeah.
Um,
Saratoga,
their
which is a
toga,
bit of a weird one.
not great. Constitution, a
Constitution,
little better.
yeah, but not
Basically,
too much.
effectively a Congo.
Yeah,
Congress.
that's we're
Uh,
totally not the Ismail class we swear of.
yeah,
It
but
literally is.
yeah, a little more dangerous.
That
Ticonderoga.
now we're getting really dangerous. 8 15-inch,
Yeah, and then
and the
Yorktown,
Yorktowns is where
816.
we get to the properly dangerous 28 knots.
Yep. And also CAs are another concern because these guys have, modern CAs in service and I don't. I have rebuilt CAs. The US ones aren't super good. Maybe the Brooklyn. The Brooklyn's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think you've got this in hand. I will just, if you want my advice on anything, just I will still be watching, but just beat me up
CVL
if you
or
need me.
okay, CVL wise. So Saratoga 23 aircraft. Philadelphia and Columbia are only 6 aircraft. So oh yeah, these must have all been conversions here. Saratoga must have been like an early battlecruiser conversion, and yeah, they don't hold that many planes. But then we get to these guys with 23 aircraft and 24 aircraft. So I probably have a carrier advantage, and that's what I'm gonna need to play
Yeah.
my strengths to. Um, yeah. Problem is, I really need to get those additional plane or carriers into service rather than the limited group I have, and most of those were already going.
Yeah.
So I think I need to turn around something. Man has one CVL right now. I probably don't need to send everything there.
No,
What I might do is I might turn around the Andromedas and the Audacities.
maybe.
Yeah, so I'll leave Euralis and Biter going down to Southeast Asia. Um, I think AV-wise, sending 2 AVs down is a good idea to provide the scout plane coverage. I'm gonna move Andromash into the reserve fleet, just kind of bring her a little bit more up to date. It's probably good to get the dreadnoughts in the active fleet, as well as Indomitable, just because I'm gonna be needing ships. Or Oaks are in the active fleet. Okay,
Oh boy.
so I've got to decide on the battle line now. What do I need to counter Japan? BB wise, I have a 1014 and an 814. Okay, I think if I pull back, these, I'll be good.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, leave an Orion, leave a Victorious, be able to equal their battleship fleet. Orion and Victorious is still pretty strong. Orion, that's still difficult. Um, in terms of battle cruisers, I actually think right now, would it be a good idea to send Invincible and then pull my stronger battle cruisers back to deal with the US? I think it would be.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Southeast Asia. I want an Incomparable going down. I want an Incomparable as the flagship, so I'm gonna pull an Incomparable back. I'm gonna probably leave Inconstant going down there, but pull both of the Illustriouses back. And I think it is probably a smart idea to pull back both Lion and Leopard. That would give me 3 battle cruisers heading down to Japan. This has 8, Japan has 6. Give me 3 at Japan and then 5 to fight the US. Or do I want to do it 4-4?
Yep.
That's a very good question. Might do it 4-4, which means that I'll leave Leopard. Leopard going to Japan and pull those back to Northern Europe. Cruiser-wise, I will send one of the Royal Oaks down to Southeast Asia, but I think I'm going to pull back 2 of the Andromedas to Northern Europe. Maybe 1 Andromeda, actually. So yeah, Abakir and Bachant will go down, and the Royal Oak will remain in Northern Europe to counter potential American moves in, presumably, North American East Coast and the Caribbean. Cruiser-wise, I was sending most of my cruisers, which I probably should not be doing, and it also looks like these 1916 builds are getting old, which is a problem. So that would be both of the Venuses as well as Minerva. I can upgrade them to an improved director with increased elevation and get anti-aircraft guns, which at this point in time is probably essential. Good mix. Part of me wants to change out the torpedo tubes. Part of me is like, no, that's too expensive. Although, hmm. Look, I'm having a budget crisis right now. No changing out the torpedo tubes.
No, no.
So those will be rebuilt. Minerva, go up to an improved director. Ooh. Minerva does not have that much space. Hmm. Yeah, I'd love to get more anti-aircraft guns. Might have to go down to 1 director. Yeah, I'm not going to remove the torpedo tubes from a light cruiser. The other thought would be removing some of the additional turrets like S and T.
Hmm.
I'm not sure that's a good idea yet. Not yet. Actually, how are the peaks in terms of their director? Yeah, they should probably get an improved director and increased elevation. Maybe lose a pair of torpedo tubes. That might be what I do here. Get rid of the F and G mounts. Like, I should probably be getting CLs with improved directors.
Yeah.
It's probably a smart call at the moment.
Probably right.
This is gonna be very costly. Oh god, the Charybdis class. These guys probably need improved directors as well. I'll give them one. Oh wait, I can move the mines if I need to. That'll work. Unfortunately, this is kind of removing my CL fleet from service for like 3 months. Okay. Probably start to activate like some of the Phoebes as well. Okay, you know what? That's
Yeah.
too much I'm spending. Alright, so I move these two back to Northern Europe. And what we're gonna try to do is I'm gonna see if I can force myself into a war with only one of the nations. Hopefully we'll get some of this money back soon, and hopefully this will be manageable. Okay, clicking the turn button. I think it's time. Naiad has finished her reconstruction.
Very good.
Weight savings on turrets. Interesting, it might be Japan. Japan's tensions have increased. Now, Amphitrite I can mothball for additional savings. Naiad is now back, and I actually think I am going to send Naiad down to Southeast Asia as part of that force. Oh hey, the Brilliants do have improved directors already. Awesome. Um, I You know what? I think I will send both of the Brilliants down to Southeast Asia because they do need cruisers down there. These guys don't have improved directors, unfortunately. But, you know, they can cover as everything else is being built. Alright, one thing I wanted to do was air groups. I wanted to get some just in, maybe even active, somewhere at home probably. But like, you know, already have air units kind of training up at base. Which I can just kind of send anywhere I need. I'm thinking if I just copy this air group, paste it a couple times.
Probably work.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'll add a bigger torpedo bomber unit in reserve, a couple of them. And then maybe a fighter group of like 8. Couple of them. I'll add a flying boat squadron of 6. And that should hopefully kind of get the aircraft industry going a little more. That's kind of my hope. And we'll also soon be able to operate medium bombers, so that'll be good too. Good news is these new destroyers have entered service, the remainder of the Morris class. I actually think I'm okay with my current destroyer divide.
Yeah,
Just have to
probably.
just have to have the understanding that the 900-ton destroyers are going to be needed in the main fleet, you know.
Yep.
Assuming that this is a two-nation war, not a one-nation war.
I get what you mean.
Okay, tensions with Japan have declined. If possible, I'd like to force this with France. Um,
Yeah, France would be a good choice. Steal more of their shit.
okay, looks like tensions are actually starting to decline a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take the momentum I have at starting war and see if I can force it with France instead, which is, you know, what I want. In the meantime, I am also going to sit down and expand every airbase in, you know, that could be active against America.
Fair enough.
So if I'm going to war with Japan, not Japan, France, um, I mean, part of that would be me blockading France, of course, but, you know, there'd be a lot of different theaters of operation there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Africa, Indian Ocean, Southeast Asia. Having a bunch of ships pre-positioned in Southeast Asia would actually be really good.
Yep.
Because if we look at what France has, actually they have 8 battleships. I'd have to recall stuff. They have CBLs building but not complete.
Mm.
Yeah. Ships under construction. I think with the current budgetary situation, I am probably resume construction on Furious. And as you'll note, I am building Courageous, Glorious, and Furious.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, it's nice to do that. I've been trying to kind of tie the names to get or keep the names tied together. Okay? I will have to send more stuff into the Mediterranean now. But in terms of float plane scout, okay, which one is the best range? That one has the best range. Which one has the best speed? That one has the best speed. This one only has slightly less range and a higher speed, a significantly higher speed. Compared to our current one, which has way more range. Come on, it has been 4 years. And it's Type A. Or, you know, that's not even an advanced model. Why? Why can't you just upgrade the range? Okay, less rugged than hoped for.
Mm. It does. It does sometimes be that way. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Alright.
did you what did you say? What did you say the button was for getting rid of things you didn't like?
D in
Thank
the
you.
superstructure menu.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll go with another flying boat. So priority, range, and speed.
Ah, very nice.
I'm gonna resume construction on New Zealand just because of how things are going right now. The King Alfreds are back. They'd be reserve, but not, you know, mothballed.
Yeah, I get what you mean completely.
I do have to send stuff down to the Mediterranean now.
Well, you've always had to send the Mediterranean. It's been.
Yeah, it's just, you know, now France is a little bit more antsy. So, I'm going to send those guys, and I'm going to send a detachment of destroyers with them. And they will
Fair
support
enough.
the, yeah, they will support the cruisers down there already, the 2 diadems, as well as the detachment of destroyers already deployed, the 3 Forester class. So hopefully that will help. Do I want the tension decrease or do I want the tension increase? Not with
Who's
how
it
things
with?
are. I think I need the tension decrease.
Who's it with?
Everyone?
Oh yeah, take the tension decrease. Let's have more time to build up.
Okay, so I just lost budget and tension didn't decline. Tension literally just remained the same. God
That is
damn.
a fairly massive oof.
Yeah. Oof. Also, I'm gonna turn up the desktop audio because you're kind of quiet.
It's fine. I'm the quiet man, don't you
Uh,
know?
yeah. Okay,
The-
now I think you're only. Okay, you're still a few decibels, a couple decibels quieter, but not probably not a few.
yeah.
All right, so I can live with the less budget. Oh yeah, Spartiate is back, right? No,
Think
no, no,
so.
she's not. She's still under construction. There she is. Well, we have a tech sharing agreement with the U.S., so I'm hoping that that remains, and I kind of want to force France into a war. Hmm. That gets me more budget. It does increase tensions with Germany, but like Germany, I'm not super afraid of. I'm okay with war with Germany. Although again, I want war with France. Why would I want fully 111-inch guns? There's nothing I can do with that. Oh shit. All right. With tensions with everyone else low and my doctrine coming into effect in 2 months, I think I take the war with the U.S.
Fair enough.
The ships in Southeast Asia will probably have to make a move on the Philippines real quickly. Um, yeah, Philippines and Guam. So I am in position to do that. Air groups right now, I do want to check. So all the carriers are currently filled. The reserve, yeah, the reserve squadrons have the planes that they normally have. These squadrons are now filled. Um,
Ah, very
I
good.
I think it is a good idea to get some squadrons going. Let me just quickly see where all these are, just so I have an idea. And where I would want to build air bases. So I actually probably want to build an air base at Formosa to Cow if I can,
Yeah, probably.
and another one here at Saipan. That would be what, Pelalau, Truck. Probably don't want an air base at either of those. Hong Kong might be okay. Oh, I already built one there. I think I have just some in this region to better deal with their threats. Probably wouldn't be fighting over the west coast so much. The Caribbean would be a good fight location. I do have
Useful
airfields
to.
there. Kingston is probably a very important base to put aircraft.
You most likely, I would suspect.
Trying to think, where would the U.S. try to invade most? I actually think,
Caribbean, Canada.
yeah, actually think good chance of Nova Scotia. So I think putting a 6-inch battery there is a good idea.
Probably not wrong.
Just an additional fortification to hold them up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And all right, so air groups, Halifax. Let's sort this out. Not floatplane scouts. Flying boats. I probably don't need as many at these locations because I
No,
have so
probably not.
many bases so close to each other. Now, Halifax is there. St. John. Maybe Halifax should have a 6. I'll do a 6 flying boat squadron at Halifax, and I'll do a 4 at St. John, and then a 6 probably at St. John's. Hey, Britain, can you have come up with more unique names for your colonies and not have like two things named, virtually the same thing?
No.
I think I actually do want maybe like a fighter squadron of 12 at these two places and then 8 at St. John's, because that's a little further out. Wait, no, hold on. 8 here, then add another group of 12 here. So if I'm needing to request like airbase cap over divisions here, I can.
Yep. Makes sense.
Now, let's get a carrier train group of medium bombers. Ah,
Nice.
yes, the Doolittle Raiders.
Whoopee.
Except they're British now. I actually don't think I'm going to put any at Halifax. I think St. John would be better for medium bombers.
That
I
would be
think I
very
would want.
funny.
Yeah. Let's get a group of 12 and then another group of 12 torpedo bombers, which means that here I can add, try 12 torpedo bombers at Halifax. I'll do a group of 10 medium bombers there. Actually, no. Change role, port bombers. Actually, I could deploy some of the stuff which is kind of readied up at these places too, if I need to.
I get that.
Although I'll deploy them in the Caribbean. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I'll just do a bunch of torpedo bombers because I think torpedo bombers are going to be better at sinking ships than medium bombers right now.
Yeah, top bombers in the mid-20s are fucking deadly if they get through.
Yeah. So Hong Kong is going to get one of these groups. Come on, let me move it. Let me move it. Thank you. Plus an additional group of maybe 8 torpedo bombers. I don't expect the fighting down there to be too strong, but having something there deployed would be good.
Yeah, I get that.
And then the other ones of these, I think Freeport would be important. And Freeport, Nassau. Probably add another torpedo bomber unit of like 12 at each base.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, I'm probably going to spend the rest of that on another fighter unit because it's like those bases are really, really, really close to the US. Other ports, we got Kingston. I think, honestly, Kingston, I might just copy an airbase. Like, was it? I just put stuff in and I cannot find them for the life of me. Oh, here we go. Copy, copy all and paste that in Kingston. Okay. So with current tensions, I do actually think I'm going to pull some of the stuff out of Southeast Asia. Like, I do not need an incomparable down there.
No, perhaps not.
Yeah. Southeast Asia would be barely contested. I think I will leave a battle cruiser. That will probably be left.
Oh, bloody hell, sorry.
In terms of cruisers, I'm going to pull back Bachant. I'm going to leave Abakir.
Fair enough, makes sense.
I'll pull back the anti-aircraft cruiser. I'll leave Adventure. And yeah, I'll leave the 2 Brilliants. That gives me 3 cruisers. And then in terms of destroyers, I think I'll leave the Lances and Loch Navars, but I'll pull back everything else.
Yeah, makes sense.
That gives me 12. That would still give me like 12 destroyers in the region. In terms of carriers, I have Biter, so that's okay. One carrier's fine. Okay. Over deployed the float plane units. Take the two good ones out. Okay, so they'll pull back. And then battleship-wise, I'll pull both of them back too. Actually, you know what? I'll leave Indomitable down there. I'll pull Leopard back. Of course, the ships in the Mediterranean will, for now, stay in the Mediterranean in case tensions with France get hot again. And also, the Mediterranean is really not that far away. Actually, it is. Nah, it's an additional. Yeah, it's an additional movement. But, you know, it would still give me options. I'm gonna pull Revenge out to Northern Europe, too. Okay. Okay. 1% weight savings on machinery. Looks like we're going to war!
And here we go.
US. New training applied. So, this is a conundrum. Because
Oh.
let's say, you know, I do this and we go to war. Probably what's going to happen. Then they don't take over the Dominican Republic, which means that that's one place that I can't take from them during a war.
Right.
But it does get us to war. Otherwise, it could delay the war. You know what? They have enough territories. I don't care. Yeah, screw it. Alright, so war should be declared about now. In terms of flying boats, let's see what options we have. So that this one has the best speed and best range.
Makes sense.
And war were declared. Okay, so what actually does the US have deployed in the Central Pacific right now? A battleship. Oh, they actually have some strong stuff deployed. So I believe, pulling some stuff out of Southeast Asia. Is that all in the Mediterranean now? Yeah, it is.
Damn.
So unfortunately, in Southeast Asia, it might actually be really difficult to do the fight because they're gonna send some good forces down there, and
Damn.
yeah, I only left a 4 battle cruiser. So I think what I do is I turn probably inconstant around.
Probably gonna have to.
Yep, Southeast Asia. I do have a CVL deployed there still. Actually, 2 CVLs deployed there still. That should hopefully give me some advantage.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'll send. No, we'll send some of the old Charybdis class cruisers down there. How about that?
That'll do.
Yeah. Now, the rest of these we have to deploy properly. So first of all, Barfleur's active fleet, ships under construction for now, halt New Zealand so that I have money. Those guys on active fleet and trade protection. King Alfred's also on trade protection. All of these old destroyers, anything 600 tons. Alright, now US subs are not going to be able to get through. As well as any of these guys. Which, yeah, aren't, like, somewhere else. Okay. There we go. We have 103 ships out of 23 on trade protection.
Nice.
I'm gonna have fun. Activate all destroyers. All destroyers are now active. Defenders are going to need a refit here, so I'm just gonna send them in now. I can get a director on them and get increased elevation. In terms of rebuild, these are a little bit complicated. I might move. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the Q mount. Delete the torpedo tubes and place a new quad mount in the Q position that I can get increased depth charge storage and some actual anti-aircraft guns. I have a little bit of tonnage left, so I think I will invest that to 2 side torpedo tubes. Like that. Oh, hold on. There we go. Actually, we get K guns? We can. Actually, the K guns are. Yeah, no, I'll do the increased depth charge storage rather than the K guns. So less torpedo tube. We basically lost 2 torpedo tubes and a turret, but have some anti-aircraft protection.
God damn.
Okay, so now we have our main battle fleet. Now the question is, where do we want to deploy? Do we want to try to go to the North American East Coast and hold it? Do we want to try to send a token force to the Caribbean?
Now that you're at war, I feel really bad making any calls. I'm not making any calls.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit and let you do it.
Okay. Alright, so the Centurions in the Mediterranean need to move to Northern Europe. We'll make that decision next turn. Oh god, this is already a very long episode. I'm not sure I should get into a battle here. Those guys will be in Northern... So the Barflewers, we can't move. So, in terms of battleships... I have 8 available, and then, how many battle cruisers available? 14 available. I think an interesting call would be splitting the incomparables. So, these are clearly my best ships. One of them goes down to the Caribbean. I don't actually have a lot of base capacity in the Caribbean, oh no. The other one will move over to North American East Coast.
Fair enough. It's been great, but I feel like I have to dip out and leave you to finish the rest of this episode by yourself. It's been great
Yeah,
watching you.
that's fair.
It's been utterly...
I'll just move stuff around and that'll be it.
Yeah, like I might be around for a while. I might not go to bed yet, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean,
But
yeah, I think this is just gonna be sort where stuff
yeah,
goes,
like
call the episode there,
yeah,
and go into the next one.
yep. All right,
All right,
brilliant. Have fun.
thank
Beat
you
the
for
Yanks.
showing up.
Goodbye.
Bye. Let's see, we need Lion. Where does Lion go? Where do these guys are all moving? Got Leopard. I do want an incomparable moving down. I do want to back him up with something else. So I think I will move Lion down into the Caribbean. Well, you know what? Lion and Leopard will each go into the Caribbean. No. Yeah. No. I'm gonna hold off Leopard. Leopard just slow the ships down. Yeah, I'll keep Leopard and... Well, actually, no. Indomitable's kind of there. And Leopard's gonna move to the North American East Coast. as well as these two. This is gonna be a completely different war than what I expected. But the good news is, like, everything was readied up. I'm pretty much in my best condition right now. Alright, so in terms of battleships, I am probably gonna send the Victorious down to the Caribbean. It'll give me 2 battleships down there. The Orions are each gonna move over to the North American East Coast. As well as the Centurions and the Dreadnoughts. So it gives me 6 battleships on the North American East Coast, and I believe 4 battlecruisers. It's not going to be enough, but it should be enough to defend my interests there. Fortunately, it does split my fleet. Good news is I have multiple carriers in Northern Europe. So how we're going to split these is the CVLs in Northern Europe are going to move down to the Caribbean, and the CVs in Northern Europe are going to move over to the North American East Coast. And actually, I think one of the CVLs is going to move to the North American East Coast as well. Heavy cruiser wise, so we have a Royal Oak in the Mediterranean, which should, yeah, Royal Oak in the Mediterranean, which should move over to, actually both are in the Mediterranean. I think they're going to move over to the North American East Coast. Then we have the, refit Andromeda class cruisers. One's in Southeast Asia, so we have 2 to play with. I'm going to move one to the East Coast, one to the Caribbean. Light cruiser wise, so those 3 are moving down to Southeast Asia. Those ones are already there. The remaining Charybdis will move down to the Caribbean. I will move one of the forwards down to the Caribbean. And I think everything else, maybe that other adventure will move down to the Caribbean. Move to the North American East Coast. All right. In terms of these guys, I'm going to take the R1917As and move them down to the Caribbean to provide scouting. And then the other ones will move up to the North American East Coast to also provide scouting. Apollo, Naiad, and Scylla. In terms of Northern European destroyers, Morris class in the Mediterranean will need to move out of the Mediterranean. You'll be going to the North American East Coast. I think the entire Morris class is just going to be put on the North American East Coast. These guys are moving from the Med to Northern Europe. I think these will be sent straight to the Caribbean. The ones in Southeast Asia will stay in Southeast Asia. The Nemesis class are clearly trade protection ships, so they will go on to trade protection. Those will stay in Southeast Asia. Then we have the Ness and the Victors. I think the Nesses will go down to the Caribbean. And the Victors will go over to the... Actually, I need something on defense. So I will be sending a squadron of Victors over to the North American East Coast and then leave the other 3 held back. That would be the Morrises and those on the North American East Coast. Actually, no, I'm gonna redeploy the Nesses to the North American East Coast. And the Morris class is big though. The Morris class is like 20 ships. Whereas, I'm only sending 8 to the Caribbean. I'll send a group of 4 Nesses down to the Caribbean. And then these other 2. Try to do this. That didn't do it. Come on. That do it? Nation, North American East Coast. Okay, there we go. That worked. So those guys will stay in Northern Europe. We'll have 5 destroyers in Northern Europe. Then I'll actually send you down to the North American East Coast. We'll have 4 destroyers in Europe, 2 Victors, 2 Nesses, and everything else will be, somewhere else, either in the Caribbean or the North American East Coast, or, the 12 in Southeast Asia. Anything else I need to send to various locations? Oh wait, we have the 900 tonners. We do. Yes. Okay. So, you guys go to the Caribbean. You guys go to the North American East Coast. In terms of older destroyers, I think I can partially make it up by sending these guys to the North American East Coast, and then I can rely on the Hydras and Lizards for Northern Europe. So that gives me still 8 destroyers, 8 active fleet destroyers in Northern Europe. And then everything else will be, on the East Coast or West Coast. And that is a full fleet movement. Hopefully America won't really be able to invade anything. And we can potentially start making invasion plans here. I think right now the plan would be that would bankrupt me. Never mind. Yeah, I think the issue is that I sent some ships into a rebuild. Okay, Courageouses, get where we are. Courageouses will be done in 6 months. As well as Spartiate. Spartiate will be immediately able to enter service. The Courageouses, however, will need to receive additional aircraft. This means that I should be expecting another 4 to 6 month refit on them. It will save me money though. Furious will be a bit after that. But hopefully it won't be too bad. This episode's already gone for 53 minutes, so we will see what the war brings us next time. So thank you everyone for watching. This has been me, NoName117 Spore, fitting an air group to the port of Spain at the very end of the episode because I forgot to do it and should probably do it just in case any battles wind up there. And you've been watching Rule the Waves 2 with me and for most of the time, Fleet. That's good enough. Yeah. Bye! Man, I've not live streamed in so long. I actually tried to hold that.